More tech. San Francisco-based firm, it's called Story, has announced that it has secured $80 million for a blockchain that will stop companies that produce artificial intelligence, such as OpenAI, from stealing intellectual property from artists without their consent. According to people familiar with the subject, the 2-year-old company is valued at $2.25 billion after this round. Let's get to Nigeria. The Securities and Exchange Commission in Nigeria put out a tweet saying that it is looking to regulate, as the commission is set to license crypto exchanges in Nigeria. Let's get the thoughts from a player in the sector from our Abuja studio, Peter Iyen. He's been a regular on the show. I haven't seen him in a while. Peter, good morning to you. Thanks for joining us. So we're going to get Peter Iyen in just a moment to talk to us. There he is. Peter, good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us. Peter, what do you make of I haven't seen you in a while. You're a busy man. What do you make of the SEC wanting to license crypto exchange? I know they're not indigenous ones here, so this is foreign exchanges, right?
Yeah, true. It's foreign exchanges, yes. But it might not always necessarily be foreign exchanges. But yeah, for now, we can assume it's foreign exchanges. But then we need to remember that when it comes to exchanges, stock exchanges, cryptocurrency exchanges, you don't really need a physical presence in terms of to operate in any country, which is why we've had foreign exchanges operating for a long time. So when the SEC comes out and says they want to regulate cryptocurrency exchanges, I think they pretty much want to set the rules to which you can have access to Nigeria. So for example, you want to have access to Nigerian banking system, i.e. allow onboarding and offboarding of cash. There'll be certain rules that, okay, these are the privileges for if you have a license, you can interact with the Nigerian banking system. You can get you're required to have you would probably let me not say I know you'll probably be required to collect certain data for anti-money laundering laws, and you also be required to have like a liaison person or a point person. So I think when it comes to this regulation, remember that because of the way exchanges are now pretty much virtual and digital, even like the stock exchange, for example. You really don't need a physical presence. So you could easily have a Binance Nigeria, but they may just have a liaison office somewhere, but they don't necessarily have to have servers in Nigeria because, it's just access to data really. So
Thank you for clearing that up.
So it's going to be foreign exchanges. You can't,
right. Thanks. I appreciate that. Look, I want to read a quote from Zach Adediji, chair of the Federal Inland Revenue Service, the FIRS, where he basically talked about the revenue targets for Nigeria. Yeah, so it's 19.4 trillion. Let's skip to the next one quickly. He pretty much also said that we have to focus on cryptocurrencies. We cannot run away from cryptocurrency ecosystem because it is the in thing. We need a law that regulates that area of our economy. What do you make of this? Is this a revenue driver for the government, Peter?
I don't think it is. I don't think so, because licensing an exchange, okay, yes, it means you'll be able to tax cryptocurrency. They would have an ability to tax cryptocurrency transactions, but then the amount of money that they will probably collect from licensing fees, it's not going to be prohibitive. So I believe the government wants to allow the industry to grow responsibly, because we can't have cryptocurrency exchanges. Or cryptocurrency being used for money laundering. No country is ever going to allow that. So, yes, I don't think the primary motive is revenue. Will revenue be generated? Yes, some money will be generated, but in the grand scheme of things, I don't believe it's going to be huge. Or I hope it's not huge. Let me keep saying that way. I hope it's not huge, because in as much as we have large foreign exchanges, we also want our own local exchanges and local cryptocurrency industry to grow. So if you put the licensing fees too high, because you're trying to raise revenue, then you pretty much lock out local players.
Excellent point.
Yeah, so I hope it's not, but I don't believe that's their objective.
Okay, so as a player in the sector, as a trader, what regulation would you like to see? What kind of proper relationship, symbiotic relationship, if you will, do you want to see between government and the crypto community? Okay,
so I think. I'm so far, I'm kind of happy, or let me put it this way, the government has moved in ways that I have expected, i.e. the cryptocurrency industry hits the entire world by storm. Governments around the world, including Nigeria, pretty much sat back and watched to see how things would evolve. Now, we've gotten to a point whereby, okay, they've seen that this thing is here to stay, it's what it is, it's a developing industry. We have to allow it to develop responsibly. Now, what kind of things would I like to see? So, I think we've had a discussion before about peer-to-peer exchange. Now, in the peer-to-peer market, for example, if I need to send money, if I need to fund my cryptocurrency wallet, I could be interacting with someone that's a terrorist or a criminal. And I have no way of knowing that that's what it is. Now, unknown to me, I would be facilitating a crime or an act of terror that could even affect my family member or myself. Now, when these regulations come in, I will be interacting with my bank will be interacting with the cryptocurrency exchange, and it kind of removes that criminal element out of the picture. Now, I know we had interactions with the banks before, but that was unregulated and hugely prone to money laundering, which is still another problem. So I believe the government, I like the kind of, responsible or delayed and responsible approach that the government is putting towards the regulation of cryptocurrency. As I said earlier, I really do hope that the fees that they bring out are not driven by revenue generation, but rather by the need to put a legal framework for things to be done responsibly, and also taking into cognizance that local players like myself, who may want to open a cryptocurrency exchange, may not have the billions that the global juggernauts like Binance have. So if you say maybe, I don't know, 100 million naira, I don't know what kind of numbers they'll be put into it to get a license. But if you put a reasonable number that, okay, yes, you have some big enough players locally, but they will still be able, big enough players locally will still be able to come into the market and compete. But if you make it too high out of, out of a need to generate revenue, then you pretty much lock out the local players and we'll be dependent on the foreign players. So yeah, so I think that's the kind of thing I'd like to see. And also maybe there's this definition of whether a cryptocurrency is a commodity or security, all those sorts of things. Well, I think those things are going to come further down the line. Maybe a couple of years down the line, those kind of things will be ironed out, as things go forward.
Peter, Iyen, it's always a pleasure having you. We'll have to have you back because there's a whole lot that's going to be developing over the next 2 years as Nigeria regulates crypto exchanges. Right. Cryptocurrency trader in Abuja, thank you so much for joining us, Peter Iyen.